Hi, can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Mm, yes, okay. I'm actually experimenting. We have to see if this is not going to work. We'll go back to previous mode, previous method. Okay, previously we used to have live video sessions. Many times we talked about sexual abuse and parenting and COVID. We talked about many things previously, but at that time I was not able to present. So that's why I was learning different methods. So I thought of conducting a Zoom meeting, but I thought again Zoom, if I conduct, some people cannot see it later. Like some people, if they miss, they will not be able to see it later. So I was searching for more ways, and I found this. So I'm trying to stream this by using OBS. We'll see how it goes, and if it's fine, we'll continue. Otherwise, we'll switch back to normal. Without presentation, I'll continue the webinar. So can you all hear? Hi Shalini. Hi Amrita. Shall we wait for others? So I'll wait for others to join. So just now I have sent the SMS. Meanwhile, tell me what you do when you are upset. Let me share the link. Okay. Shall is saying let's wait. Hi Divya. I'm just seeing what is the center and how I can move to center. Meanwhile. Okay, so Divya, I asked a question. What do you do when you are upset? And Shalini responded saying that I am painting a lot, especially when I am upset. And what about Hi Swati, Divya, Swati, Amrita? Can you all please share what you do when you are upset? Why am I not in the center? Okay, Swati is saying she reads. I'll see for 2 more minutes because it's 7:55. There is 5 more minutes. I'll see. Then I'll start at 8. So we decided that we'll start at 8. We'll start at 8. So Divya is saying you're writing your emotions and thoughts and trying to read as well. Yeah, I could notice that. Because she's texting me about thoughts and emotions. She's using those words often, even when she's texting me normally. And Amrita is saying, I think, when I'm upset, I write about it. Yes, Amrita writes, Swati reads, Divya writes, Shalini paints. Okay, all these are different ways of expression. Okay, we'll wait up to 8. So meanwhile, let me introduce about 4 steps up, so that whoever watches this video later, new people, they will be able to understand. So 4 steps up is a place where you can reconnect back to your mind, body, people and nature. So natural connection which we have with mind is something like artificial, and we get conditioned. It's not pure. It's not. It's not natural. It's not emotional. It's not authentic. So 4 steps up helps you to connect to your mind in an authentic manner, and with body, because in body also we take many things for granted, and with people also we connect by hiding our emotions. We don't share about our things, and being honest in the relations, that we don't do. And 4 steps up can help you in becoming more assertive. And nature, we generally go travel in nature whenever we are upset. Apart from that, we don't do anything with nature. But actually, we can be mindful, we can become spiritual. Those are doing activities at Instagram, they will know. So they can become more spiritual. We can use the nature to empower ourselves. So 4 steps up talks about all those things. And also, now there are new services. This is an announcement. Shalini, Swati, Divya, and who else? Everybody. Amrita. So you people can try many things at website. So in the website now there are new services, like there are support groups where you can join and write. You can start your own support group also if you have a topic, and you can discuss with other people to gain perspectives. And this is a new service. Previously we had offline support groups. Now we have online. If you go to website, you will find. And we'll also have new services, other services like webinars, the one which I am doing right now. And I'll be using presentation. Previously also I talked in videos, but this is little different because I'm using presentation, that's it. So this service was there before also, and we'll be doing activities at Instagram. That is one more new thing. So these are the news updates, and there is a forum where anybody can ask questions, even outsiders and strangers also can come and ask questions. And there is also one more feature that website is logged right now, so nobody who is a stranger, outsider, cannot enter into website. And in many areas like support groups, forum, everywhere they need to log in, and I have to approve the membership request, then only they will be able to log in. So some things everybody can access, like blog, those things, but many things many people can't access. Hi Renka Prasad, no, you are not late. I'm just talking something random because I'm waiting for people. That's why I'm talking about 4 steps up and introducing, because new people also will watch the video, they will get to know. You all know already about all the services and features in the website. I'm just introducing, and I'm waiting for other people. I think it's 2 more minutes we'll wait, because it's 7:58. At sharp 8 p.m. we'll start. Okay. One person is saying internet is not working. Yeah, that's why I am doing it at. So first, initially I thought of doing it as a webinar at Zoom, as a Zoom meeting, but I decided that people cannot watch it later. That's why I thought I'll do it by using YouTube. But I cannot present if it's YouTube. That's why I was learning this software. So now I'm able to present. That's why I switched to YouTube in the last minute. Now I can use presentation even at YouTube. So Renuka Prasad, you have to tell me, what do you do when you are stressed? So I asked the same question to all others. And shall we start? Now it's 8. Shall we start? Okay, let me start introduction, so that if anybody wants to join, they will join, they won't miss much. So first I'll introduce about the topic. What do you all understood when I said Sometimes self-help is not the actual self-help. Any guesswork? Anything? Can you all message, comment? So Renuka Prasad is saying, I sing, scribble, go for walk in nature. Okay. So can you all please comment in the live chat? What do you all think about the topic? Sometimes self-help is not the actual self-help. What does that mean? Okay, Renuka Prasad is saying he takes a long shower. Okay, I'll tell you all one thing. None of you have mentioned what you all actually do when you are upset. I know what you all do because we discussed in many contexts. So I know what you all do, but none of you actually mentioned what you all do. That is possible because what happens is we don't understand what we do when we are upset. We cannot observe what we do when we are upset. That's what happens. Yes, coping mechanisms, Shalini is saying, do more harm than good. No, that's not true. I'll explain that also. But coping mechanisms, you can't understand what you do when you feel upset. What kind of copings are you using? That we can't understand. We don't know about our own copings. I know about your coping, but I don't know about my coping. My therapist will know about my copings, or my friends will know about my copings, and my family will know about my coping, or my friends will know about my coping. But you cannot understand about your coping. So, Divya is saying, I cry most of the times when I am upset. Okay, so actual things which are very important things you have not mentioned. Many of you have not mentioned, but I know somehow what you do when you are stressed. So when I talk about the topic, you will understand. And we can't understand about our coping mechanisms. So what are these coping mechanisms? What do you all know about this coping? I think this is the most awaited topic, and many of you asked me several times to talk about this. So what kind of idea you have about this topic? Can you all share your opinions and views? Meanwhile, I'll say few things about coping mechanisms. So first of all, Sigmund Freud introduced these coping mechanisms, defense mechanisms. But I am not going according to that because that is very ancient kind of method, and psychodynamic therapy nobody is using nowadays, and psychoanalytical nobody, it's dead almost. Psychodynamic, okay, some people are using, but it's very ancient method. But how can we relate defense mechanisms to today's generation? So is there any way? I'll tell you all that. Sheikh Mohammed Ali. Hi. Okay, you talk. Renuka Prasad is saying defenses is the topic. Yes, defenses is the topic. And defense mechanisms, how do we relate to current day situation? So we can understand them through Gestalt school, not through psychodynamic school. That's how I am going to talk. Because psychodynamic school is not in use anymore now, because what happens is psychoanalytical school, Sigmund Freud talks about different stages, fixation, sexual characters. He put everything, like all the weightage he gave to sex and not to any other parameter. And he also neglected other things, many things, and he said some things are not existing only, like that. Like for example, sexual abuse, he did not give any importance to that, like that. So I am not talking about defense mechanisms by keeping psychodynamic therapy or psychoanalytical approach in my mind. I am going to talk by keeping Gestalt in my mind. Gestalt is something that came later, and it's applicable to even today. And empty chair technique. And the empty chair technique involves two people sitting, like therapist will be vacating the chair, and client will switch from that chair to this chair to that chair, and will talk with self. That is called empty chair technique, and Gestalt therapy is the base of that empty chair technique. Talking to self and observing the self in that current moment, and freezing the emotions and thoughts, and looking at thoughts and emotions at that particular moment, that is Gestalt. So Gestalt talks about completion. Gestalt talks about cycle. Gestalt therapy believes that everything happens in cycles. If cycle is not complete, it's not going to give good results. So what happens is that leftover part of cycle will bother people. That's what Gestalt therapy says. So I'm going to talk about differences by keeping Gestalt therapy in mind, not psychodynamic or psychoanalytical therapy in mind. And moreover, there are so many classifications. I'm taking the latest classifications and not the old ones. I am talking about all the different categories of defense mechanisms. According to Sigmund Freud, there are only 8. And according to latest classifications, there are more than 20, 30, 40. So I am going to talk about many defenses, not 8 defenses. So I will categorize them and I will talk about each category, and also I will talk about each defense like that. And Swati is saying coping mechanism lets us stay away from reality. Not always. Again, and I'll proceed now. I told you all one thing, that you don't know what coping mechanism you use. Like you will not be aware of that, because you cannot understand your own coping mechanism, because it operates at unconscious level, not at conscious level. You don't do it actively, so you don't plan and do. Like for example, whatever you mentioned, like I'll write, I'll talk to people, I'll note down, I'll maintain a journal, I'll write about thoughts and emotions. That is all which you are doing it actively. And whatever you are doing unconsciously, without your effort, those are defense mechanisms. So you will not be able to tell me answer if I ask you what kind of defense mechanisms are you using. So now, hi Srividya, you observe our thoughts and emotions. This is what you know. But defenses are coping mechanisms which operate at unconscious level. You will not understand. So now we'll go to next slide. So these are group of kids learning in the class, high super 6 education. So these are the group of kids. Let us say Swati, Renuka Prasad, Shalini, Srividya, Amrita, Vamshi. Everybody is in a class and they are listening to teacher, and I am the teacher. So now what happened? There is this one kid who is thinking about food. He is not interested in lesson and he is hungry. So he wants to eat. He is getting images of food in the mind. He is thinking about food. So what is the solution according to you? Type in the live chat. I want to hear the solution. So what is the solution to that problem? So when this kid is actually hungry, what could be the solution? So meanwhile, I'll go to the next one. Meanwhile, you keep typing. You all keep typing. Solution is eating food. As simple as that. It's very simple. So there are no other solutions except eating food. Like he can tell in the class that I am hungry. He can go out and he can eat, or he can take permission and he can go, or he can eat in the class itself. That is the solution. Yes, Swati is saying he should go and eat. And Renuka Prasad is saying he should have a lunch break. So break is not in hands. Amrita is saying eat. Yes, that is the solution. Straightforward. Vamshi is saying, I think that is me asking permission. No, you won't ask permission. You will do a strike and you will go out. I have right to eat. That's what you will tell to teacher. And Pranaya, hi Pranaya. So Pranaya is saying eat. Yes. Divya is saying eating. Yes, all of you know what is the solution. But none of us will do this, because there are things that will hinder us. Society norms, pressure. We will feel that everybody will laugh at me if I eat. Everybody will look at me and they will judge me. They will, okay, you don't bother if your students eat. Okay, so here society norms, pressure will be there. We feel that teacher will say something and other people will say something. Everybody will look at me. I'll be like weird if I eat, and it's not good if I eat. And that's what people will think in the class. That's why what that kid will do is he will decide that he will not eat. He will somehow control his urges. Then he will sit in the class. He has to listen. I have to listen. I have to listen. I have to listen to the class. That's what he will tell to himself. So there is a concept called learned helplessness. So learned helplessness in the sense, for example, I am believing that there is no solution to my problem. That is learned helplessness. So why I am saying it's learned, that is because I learned it somehow, because initially everybody is hopeful, like every human being will have so much of hope. Every human being will try to resolve his issues, resolve his problems. Everybody will be like full of hope. But learned helplessness is when we fail repeatedly, and when we realize that nothing is working, I'm not able to do anything, I will not be able to succeed. Then he will learn how to be helpless. So he will learn that no, nothing is going to work. I'm not going to get money, I'm not going to get job, I'm not going to get a wife, I'm not going to get a husband. So this is how people learn helplessness. They will stick to that position. That is nothing but rigidity, everything. And whatever stops people, that is learned helplessness. When they go through so much, after that, some people will be there, they will still keep trying, they will keep trying, they will keep trying. But some people will be sticking to the place. I'll give an example. There was an experiment conducted on a frog. So scientists have kept it in a boiling water. It tried to jump out. Again they have kept it keep it in water. Again it tried to jump. And again they have kept it in water, again it tried to jump. After that it didn't try, after fourth try. But maybe after, if it jumps for fourth time, till the time it is alive, if she keeps jumping, then maybe there are chances that it will live. But it gave up. So this is a simple thing that everybody knows. We don't even need to do an experiment to figure out. We try for 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. At one point we give up. So that giving up is nothing but learned helplessness, where we believe that there is no solution to my problem. It cannot be resolved. So teacher will not allow me to go and eat. That is one thing. And I cannot get the food. I don't have money. I cannot buy the food. So these two kinds of learned helplessness will happen. And what are the previous instances which will give rise to this? That is, when a child decides that teacher will not allow me. So then that means he had a previous experience. So here Super 6 Education mentioned that he allows his children to go to eat in the class or eat in the class. But maybe a teacher who taught them before joining Super 6 Education, maybe that teacher might have stopped the kid. So that kid decided that he will not ask for permission, he will not eat in the class. Like that, past experiences will become our teachers, and we assume that same thing will happen every time. So like that, we will learn helplessness somehow. Then we will decide that teacher will not allow me, or I cannot get food. Maybe, for example, there is a child who is 5-year-old, 6-year-old, and he cannot get the food, did not get the food. And after becoming 18 also, he will assume the same thing. But now he got right to work. He can go to shop and become a salesman, or he can sell pani puri. Whatever he wants, he can do. There are infinite opportunities. But with age, opportunities number increases. With time, opportunities number increases. There are some luck factors also. Whenever environment changes, again opportunities might increase or decrease. Like COVID crisis, opportunities number decreased. Like that. So all these factors influences, and the person decides that I should not look for solution. Simple solution, everybody typed here that he has to eat. But he decided that I will not eat, because teacher might not agree, or I cannot get the food. So this is what happens. Renka Prasad is saying, I wish you are my teacher. Okay. So now what happens after that? When the person decides that I am not going to get food, defenses get activated. Now these are one category of defenses, where first one is denial. Denial is he will forget about his hunger. That is first defense. That this happens in severe cases, like for example sexual abuse. The victims forget about abuse, and they will not even remember. So what happens is, but it did not go away from them. It's not a solution. If it is a solution, it will go away, but it will not go away. So whenever another abuse happens, or they are physically intimate with somebody, or they are being harassed by somebody, they will remember all the previous episodes. Or if they visit some place where abuse happened, they will get to know all the things that happened to them in the childhood. So that is nothing but denial. Denying in the sense, so many of you asked me during many live videos that what is actually denial. Is it the denial? Like when a person is saying that I don't want to resolve my problem, it's okay, I'll live with my problem, and these kind of things you all asked me many times. So now I am telling the answer. Denial is not that. When a person knows there is a problem, that's not denial. So denial is when person is not even aware that he or she has a problem. So he or she thinks I am very comfortable in my life, I am happy, I am enjoying. So for example, you ask somebody who lost job, who lost money, who lost everything in COVID crisis time, then that person will say, no, I am very happy because I am spending time with my family, so I am very happy. That's what he says. And sexual abuse people, if we ask them, they will say, I don't remember my childhood. That's what they will say in the initial sessions. Like that, denial is something which you don't remember. And next comes the distortion. Distortion is when you change the reality. This is what you all talk about in all the discussions, forum discussions, group discussions. You all talk about distortion. Redika Prasad and Shalini and Swati, you all keep talking about distortions. So in groups, in discussions, forums, so Divya is, hi Divya. There is no order. There is no mild or nothing like that. All these three come in one category. Each page is one category. Within the page, there is no order. So denial is something you don't even know that there is problem. If he thinks he is happy, then what's the problem? Because he is not happy. That is the problem. So he thinks he is happy, but he is not. Like I said, he can't forget. He thought he forgot, but that will affect somewhere else. Like for example, a girl thought that I got abused and I don't remember anything about that. I got abused in the childhood, but I lost my self-esteem. So if I take the same example, the guy, he is hungry in the class. I am hungry in the class, and I am trying to forget that hunger, and I am denying. But my body will show the same symptoms. My hands will shiver after sometimes the glucose level falls down, and I'll feel pain in the stomach. I'll feel weak. I'll feel drowsy. So there are so many things happening in the body and also in the mind. So I cannot concentrate properly. Then I will again think that maybe I have low IQ, I'm not listening to my teacher, so I'm a problematic person, like that. So he is in denial that he got hunger, but all the other things will not stop. He will not be happy. So all the other side effects and effects of the main problem, they will keep growing. So when he is not stopping it. And Redka Prasad is saying, he will he will not experience happiness, because when he is younger, he will feel I am not listening to teacher, there is something wrong with me, I am a horrible student, and he will leave the class. After that he will fail because of that anxiety. Then he will leave the school, then he will go to another school. There he will carry the same guilt that he did not perform well in the school. So again in the other school he will not settle. So again he will feel low about himself. This continues, goes on. Only just he has to eat. That's it. He denied that because of that chain of consequences. He will leave the school, he will do all the other things. So he will not be happy because consequences will never stop. If you forget that there is fire near you, then it will keep coming to you. It will eat you. Fire will eat you and it will burn you, and it will turn you into ashes. It will never stop. Even if you try to forget that there is fire, even if you try to concentrate on something else, fire will continue eating you, like that. And Sheikh Muhammad Ali is saying, any sexual abuse won't forget what happened to them. You just pretend they forgot. No, they forget. Completely they forget. They don't pretend. They can't remember. When there is a trigger, when there is a situation which is similar to the original one, they will remember all the things. They will completely forget. They can't remember. Because it's too much for them to take, especially if they are very, very small children. And Renka Prasad is saying they forget. Yeah. So now let's go to distortion. What is distortion? This is what you all keep addressing in the group discussions. Swati, Shalini and Renka Prasad. So in the group discussions you all mention about distortion. Distortion is changing the logics and believing in something else to forget this. So denial is just forgetting this. But distortion is believing in something else apart from forgetting this. Like for example, he is hungry, the kid. So what he is thinking is, my belt is tight, that's why my stomach is aching. I am not hungry, but my belt is tight. So what he will do is he will try to remove the belt in the class. Teacher will scold him, why are you removing the belt? Like that, he will do something inappropriate. So that is nothing but distortion. He is trying to change the reality. He is trying to believe that something else is happening, not this. This is what we always talk about. Most of the people who doesn't want to believe that they have bad families, they have bad relationships, they have bad career, they will try to distort. For example, if my husband is someone who is very bad, he's not taking any responsibility at home, and I am not happy with my husband, then I will try to distort and I will think that I have a happy family, I have a happy family. I will keep telling myself. Then I will also pressurize other people to believe in that, and I'll ask other people to validate me and authenticate me like that. And if I have a bad career and I'm not happy with that, then I'll keep asking other people. They will say that you are the one who got good career, so be in that career, don't ruin it. So I'll try to be in this. I'll tell myself that career is fine. If I wait for some more days, it will change. Situation will change. My boss is going to leave, then everything will be fine. So that is distortion. When you give something as replacement of your problem, that is it. And delusion. Delusion is believing in something which is irrational. So rationality. What is rationality? Can you all type what is rationality? What is your definition of rationality? So there are. So I'll explain, but you all keep typing. Maybe your response might be a little slower. I might complete the talking about irrationality by the time you all type, but that's okay. So my what irrationality is? There are no so many definitions of irrationality. Irrationality is something where you believe in something which is not repeatable, which is not replicable. Like for example, if I say a person who is wearing yellow dress can give good seminars. So this is what I am believing. But every time when I wear yellow dress, I will not be able to give good seminar. Every time when I wear, so this will not be repeating every time. In all the settings, I tell everybody that you go and give presentations in your class and wear yellow dresses. All of you will do that. And all of you will fail in the exam. So it will not be replicable, it will not be repeatable. So anything that is repeatable in all circumstances, in all times, in all conditions, that is rational. And irrational is something which you can't prove. You just believe in it and you will end the topic by saying, I just believe in that, leave me. So like that people will quit from the discussion. That is nothing but delusion. So delusion is, so generally people talk about delusions related to schizophrenia. Those are different. Those are like believing that alien is talking to me. Those are like hallucinations, and delusions pair to hallucination. I am not talking about that. I am only covering the differences which are applicable to normal people. Normal in the sense those who don't have any problems in their biology. I am talking about only those differences. And delusions are ones that where this kid who is hungry and cannot eat, he will start believing that I did not believe in God. In morning, my mom asked me to pray to God, and I did not do that. Because of that, now I am feeling hungry and lunch bell is not ringing. So I am suffering because my mom did that. So this is delusion, where a person believes something to explain his pain, but he will not look for the solution. Whether if I can eat or not, if I can get food, he will not look into that. He will only look into logic, why I got this condition, and he will try to explain by putting a belief into it. That belief is nothing but, I did not listen to my mom in the morning, I did not pray to God, that's why I am not able to eat. That's why God punished me. This is the delusion. Renuka Prasad is saying, seeing things as they are. No. Divya is saying, is there any case where denial is good? No. No, in no cases denial is good. Because denial will take you away from the reality. When you go away from the reality, you will not be able to give actual solutions to the problems. That's why it's not good in any circumstances. Because solutions don't come as accidents. They will come only if you work on them. So when you don't work, you cannot give solutions to problems. When you go away from the reality, that's when you will be in denial. So it's not good. And Sheikh is saying, taking things in the whole positive way. No, that's not rationality. That is denial. That's denial or distortion. Many people talk about positive, be positive. I got hurt, and that's good for me because I am not doing any work. No, you then don't. Then why don't you go and get hurt every day? You don't do that, right? When it happened, you are justifying it. That means you are twisting the logics. That means it is distortion. It's not the rationality. Divya is saying thinking practically or logically. Yes, but practicality, logical, that will come when you keep this logic in your mind. That anything that is rational should be repeating all the time. Like you did not pray today, you did not pray yesterday also, you did not pray day before yesterday also, but then you didn't suffer. Today you are suffering. So that is what rationality is. Delusion is something which is opposite to rationality. And Steve is saying, yeah, you didn't understand what is rationality. Rationality is scientific rule. So if you are a science student, you will easily understand. Scientific rule is, for example, if I talk about water, water flows from high surface to low surface. That is the rule. Even if you pour water here, it will flow. If you pour water on my head, it will flow to my feet. So from high surface to down. It will not, if I pour water on my legs, it will not come to my head. So that will never happen. If it is happening in all circumstances, that is rational. And Divya is saying, can you repeat? Yeah, I am repeating. So for one more example, if there is light, I can see things. If there is no light in the room, I can't see things. This will always happen. Now if I switch off, I can't see. So that is repeatable, that is replicable every time. Every time when I do same thing will happen. That is nothing but rationality. So rational thoughts are something which are valid, applicable in all circumstances. All circumstances. That is rationality. And any doubts? Can I go forward to next slide? So here, these dots, these are, I depicted the reality and the mind. So for example, my mind is here and reality is here. That means very distant. Mind and reality are very distant. That's what in these mechanisms, denial, distortion, delusion, my mind is very much away from the real solution. It can never get food if it lives in denial. If you never understand it's hungry, I am hungry, I'll never get food. If I am distorting my reality by thinking that I can't get food, my stomach is aching because my belt is tight, I can never get food. I will never try to get food. And if I am in a delusion that I did not pray, that's why I did not get food, then I will never try to get food. I will try to pray, but that will not give me food. So these three are very distant from reality. So these dots represent distance between my actual solution and my thinking process. And Divya is saying process of denial, distortion, delusion. That is get sediment over time, making it hard to come. Yes, these things will become strengthened day by day, day by day, day by day. Not because, like I explained in the previous slide, learned helplessness. When you are learning, your learning will continue no matter what you do. If you keep riding cycle every day, you will become an expert by 5 years, 10 years, you will become expert. You will handle cycle with one hand. Like that, learning is a natural process where that will go on, go on, go on. When you are actually feeding yourself with helplessness, you think that you don't have a solution. This denial, distortion, delusion will strengthen that belief that there is no solution, because you will try to pray and then also you didn't get food, and you try to lose in your bet, then also pain is still there, and you try to forget the hunger, then also no food. So your pain will still exist. That is what will make your life horrible. You will not be able to be happy, and that's what worsens your life, and it will keep on increasing over time. And coming to next level, these are next setup, so little bit closer to reality, not that distant from the reality. So we are moving closer to the reality, real solutions in an order. So these are, but none of these are actually same as solution. Solution is something which will directly give you the answer, but here we are actually we are moving closer to reality, but that doesn't help you. None of the differences can help you. I can't say that, because sometimes they help, sometimes they don't. I'll also explain that, how they help. But in the second slide, I am talking about differences which will keep you little bit away from the reality. That the distance is little bit. Malavdhani, Anna, stand up on the bench. You are too late. So Divya is saying, this is what they call body memory. Yeah, body memory, brain memory. Body memory is when you have pain in the body and body remembers. When you have pain in the mind, it will also remember. So there will be both body memory and mind memory. So now we have moved to second phase. Second phase, we are talking about differences which will keep you at a distance from the reality, which is lesser than the previous category. Those differences will keep you at a higher distance. These differences will keep you at a little bit lesser distance, but these also will keep you from distance from the solution. So here, acting out. Acting out is what Divya does. Not the Divya Kalola, it's Sai Divya. So shouting. So she shouts on me. When she calls and shouts on me whenever she's angry, that's nothing but acting out. When there is a pain, if we do something ruptured, that's acting out. And hypochondriosis, that is nothing but feeling the pain. Okay, I'll give the same analogy here. Acting out. That kid who is hungry, he will try to throw things. He will try to throw the lunch boxes, bags, everything here, there. That is nothing but acting out. So that he gets frustrated after the class or maybe in the class, he will throw the things. That is acting out. Hypochondriosis, that is nothing but transferring the pain into some other form, which is more acceptable. He is hungry. He thinks that teacher cannot accept that. Teacher won't accept. Then what he will do is, he will do this in the class. Then he will do, I got corona, ma'am. So this is hypochondriosis. That is moving the pain into more acceptable form, which is nothing but the physical pain. Any physical trauma, symptoms like that. So we hear about instances where small kids act that they got stomachache. Small kids complain that they are not feeling well when they have to go to school. That could be a form of hypochondriosis. And I have seen many women who are at middle age complaining that they have body pains. And when they have problems in their life, they complain that they have pains. Their problems manifest as pains. So I have seen in the middle-aged women dominantly hypochondriosis. That is another difference. And next comes the passive-aggressive behavior. That is being lazy, not showing interest. So I am showing my anger, but indirectly. For example, teacher asks, write a line on something. So she gives a word. Write a line about prehistoric events. Then immediately kid said, he is not feeling like writing. So this is a way of expressing the pain. So passive aggressive behavior, going late to classes. Most of the times we observe in school children also. They come late to the classes. Like how Anna came late to the classes, he's showing passive aggressive on me. Is it right? So no, I'm just kidding. So passive aggressive is going late to the classes and not paying attention and talking by sitting in the last bench and doing such things which are like rebellious acts but not directly rebel. They won't question the teacher, but they will do something by sitting in the last bench. We observe these behaviors, and also I have seen relationships where men generally use this. Like men become silent, they don't talk, and then the girl goes behind the man. And I also see in girls acting out, and I have seen men showing the passive aggressive behavior. Of course, I am not generalizing. So it's not like all men do passive aggressive, all women do acting out. But within my limited knowledge, I have seen only few cases. In that I have noticed that I am sharing, but it's not generalization. Don't apply it as a rule anywhere. And men generally show passive aggressive behavior. They don't talk to wives. They don't talk to children when they get angry. So that's what I have observed. That is passive aggressive behavior. Sri Vijay is saying, can a person show passive aggression? Yes, they can show multiple differences at one point of time. Nice question. So generally this happens. Swati is saying stonewalling. Yes, stonewalling is not talking and like sitting in a corner and going late to the class and not giving the gifts which they used to previously give. But here you have to differentiate. There are two ways of doing this. One is I don't feel like talking to you, then I won't do that. So that is one way. And passive aggressive where I want to show anger on you, that's why I am being passive aggressive. There are differences. So be careful in assessing people. There is a difference when people don't want to talk, can't talk, they are in trauma, and there is passive aggressive behavior where They want to show the anger and instead they are showing indirectly. There is a difference. And Divya is saying, okay, passive aggressive queen here. Okay. So this is what passive aggressive behavior is. And next comes to the fantasy. Who is the fantasy queen or fantasy king? Any fantasy king here? So fantasizing is thinking about something which I can't get. Like for example, when I can't get an opportunity to eat, that guy is hungry. So what he will do is McDonald's. Oh my God! Oh, biryani, samosa, like that. That is nothing but fantasizing. He will only imagine, live in the imagination. Yeah, I know that's you, Redka Prasad. That's why I said any fantasy king. Juby is saying, why do you think men are more susceptible to being passive aggressive? How does society or parenting play a role in? Yes, parenting plays a role because men are expected not to shout, not to cry, not to behave like women. That's why they go into passive aggression rather than going to acting out. Women will go to acting out because it is acceptable behavior in the society. That's what I think, but there are no, I didn't read much about it, but this is something I observed in the sessions, that's it. And Sri Vijay is saying, okay, Amrita is saying me. And Sri Vijay is saying, starting I said I observe my thoughts, but at the same time I show my hypoconscious passive aggression and initially use them as reason to observe my emotion. Can we do that? Yes. We show emotions by shouting and we show by showing the pains, and so that we'll get the attention from the family. But you don't do it consciously. Then if you do it consciously, then that's not defense. That's manipulation. But if you are doing it without even knowing, now you realize that you had been doing it, then that is defense. So, fantasy is when you think about something and you live in the imagination because you can't get it in the real life. So, you can't get food in that guy, he's hungry, he can't get food, so he'll be thinking about biryani, samosa, pani puri. So, this is nothing but fantasy. And next comes the projection. Projection is he will look at teacher. Teacher is very hungry. That's why she is rushing today. So this is projection. Redka Prasad is saying schizoid fantasy. I don't know what is schizoid fantasy. I'll read about it and I'll let you know. And projection is when we project things onto others. Like teacher is hungry. That's why she is rushing. So we see things which we actually have in us in others. We see that, for example, this happens with men who are in love, most of the men. That's what I observed. This is my limited knowledge. Don't take it as a rule. I never talk about rules in my videos because there are no rules. These are only my observations. I am just sharing. So what I observed is many men, 90% of the men who are in love, they perceive that other girl is in love with them. They perceive that acts of girl are similar to loving acts like that. So that is nothing but projection. And Divya is saying, I think fantasy is really difficult to catch. It can easily be understood as harmless daydreaming. Yes, it will be. People generally think that fantasy is good, but actually it ruins the reality because when he is imagining, he is getting the kick out of it. He will not make any attempts to get the food. But in reality, what happens? His glucose levels will be down. His body will shiver. He will be feeling problematic like that. So fantasy will actually take him away from the reality. That's what these two dots depict. They depict the distance between actual solution and the defense mechanism. So actual solution is eating food. Fantasy is taking him away from the eating food. And next comes projection. When you show it on other person, that is projection. And Divya is saying, I think to fight or argue consciously. Am I right? No, not really. As per my understanding, you don't do it consciously. You don't plan and fight. You just get anger. That's what I feel. But maybe that's true. You can think about it. You can let me know. Like you can conclude and let me know. But as per my observation, you do it passively without any plan. You don't want to fight, but you do it. You just rush into things. Next, now distance came little closer. So these are little bit more healthier than previous ones. But they will also keep you away from the actual solution, but still little bit better than previous ones because they won't have big side effects like previous ones. In the previous ones, We fight, we cry. In these ones, we don't do that. That's why these are little bit better than previous ones. So displacement. Displacement is when you put something on the other. For example, that guy who is not able to eat in the class, what he will do is he will focus on the studies. He will start learning like a serious student. He will perform very well. He will be like brilliant student in the class. Everybody will clap, and everybody in the class will think he is very great person, and he will focus in such a way that he will stand out in the class. So this is a difference, because this is not a solution. You might say this is a good thing, displacement is a good thing, but what happens is when he is actually displacing the emotion, he will miss the actual thing. He wants food, he will miss that. So that's why it's not healthy. And we see displacement in generally offices where boss scolds the senior manager scolds junior manager will scold clerk will scold peon will scold his wife. This is displacement. So anger is passing from one place to other place, other place to other place, other place to other place. That is displacement. When one thing is actually transferring to other places. Sounds like distraction. Yeah, only difference between distraction and displacement is distraction is when you look at something and try to forget the current thing. That is, and displacement is when you exactly carry this and put it somewhere else. That is displacement. You are hungry, you are frustrated, you will put the frustration somewhere else, in the studies or something. If you are frustrated because your boss scolded you, you will show same frustration on your junior. That is displacement. And next comes to dissociation. Dissociation is actual distraction, which you are talking about. Dissociation is splitting into two. Like, for example, this guy who is not able to eat in the class, who is hungry, he will start looking at a beautiful girl who is sitting next to him. So like that he will distract himself. He will dissociate into two parts. There is now two parts in him. One part is actually feeling sad that oh my god, food. Other part is like oh my god, beautiful lady, like that. So there are two components in him. That is dissociation, splitting into two. So this is harmful in long run. All the people in the society are dissociated. And what happens in the long run is the negative part, which he actually dissociated himself into two parts now in the first step. Gradually he will learn discarding the bad part. He will keep the other part. So everybody becomes half after dissociating. All the human beings are living half life. Half life in the sense living as half person, not as complete person, because they have dissociated in the previous instances and they have discarded a part of them. So now they are only half. Like for example, I am only half of my complete identity, like that. That is the threat. When we dissociate, we actually leave one part. That is the problem. So this dissociation happens especially when we are in traumatic situations, COVID situations. There what happens is, for example, I was learning guitar and I was focusing on that. I don't want to panic about this, but I was trying to keep myself connected with the pain of this COVID or that fear, panic, because I don't want to dissociate. If I keep enjoying in the music, that's dissociation. And Shaikh is saying, why does projection won't happen with women? No, it happens. That's what I said. I'm talking about only dominant patterns that I have seen in my practice, and my practice is very limited. I'm very young. Like I started only 2 years back, and I have seen only few, maybe hundreds of cases. That's it. So based on my experience, I'm sharing what I have seen. But it happens with women also. Projection happens. Projection. I'll give a woman example. A mother who is actually feeling guilty that she did something wrong, and because of that child fell down. When he is walking, he fell down, and she could not protect him. She could not provide support. She could not catch him when he was falling down. She will immediately scold him, and she will say, "What did you do? You are stupid. Don't you know how to walk?" That is because she is projecting the guilt on the child. So that happens. I have seen that in rare instances, but majority I have seen in the office employees. But I am mentioning about my own experience. That's not very limited. And Divya is saying, could you give another example of dissociation, please? Dissociation, when some crisis is happening. We have seen Titanic movie. There are people who are playing violin and they are engaged in that. There they have dissociated into two parts. One is they are going to die, and other part is like playing, enjoying music like that. Everything is dissociation. Everything that is happening right now in the society, like a person feels sad and he will try to fill that sadness with something else. A person who breaks up, he will try to start a new relation and try to fill that void with the new relation, new girlfriend, and he wants to forget the old girlfriend. That is dissociation. If a person is feeling traumatic, he is putting focus on work, he wants to forget trauma. That is dissociation. A person wants to forget the childhood trauma. That's why he is trying to become very rich or marrying a rich person, focusing on that component. That is dissociation. Because I'll tell you difference. What is difference between growing and dissociation? Whatever I mentioned, those can be parts of growing also. Like a person gets married, finds a girlfriend, and becomes rich, gets a good job. But what is difference between dissociation and these? These when you grow, you will do only things which are positive. But when you dissociating, you will do positive thing by pairing it to the negative thing. Because you want to get rid of negative thing, you will go to the positive thing. And Swati is saying addiction. No, addiction is something like previous. I'll go back. It will come here. The distortion or delusion. Because addiction will completely take you away from the reality. They won't be able to do anything actively. They can't figure out the reality. So it comes into distortion. Their reality will be alternative. Like for example, if I drink, I'll forget about all the things happening around me. I'll be like in a ecstasy. That is nothing but distortion of the actual reality. So addiction is something severe. But dissociation is not that severe. The person knows that he is actually splitting into two parts. One is for example, somebody sitting in front of a dying person in the hospital and praying to the God. So their person tries to and listening to the music and try to distract himself. So all these things are dissociation. When you are in a mood, negative mood, you have to be there. And if you are trying to do something else and pairing it to this, that is dissociation. And Divya is saying, could you give another example? Okay, Renuka Prasad is saying alcohol, drugs, porn, sex, all addictions come under dissociation. We can also say they come under dissociation. For example, if you are drinking and you are only focusing on the happy part and not on the sad part, that could be dissociation. But there won't be any happy when you are addicted. So it more comes in the distortion. You are distorting the reality. You don't want to see the reality. You are moving away from the reality. That is distortion, not dissociation. And Divya is saying, but it's not good to dissociate rather than feeling the pain. No, it's not good because pain is not gone anywhere. When you are actually dissociating with the pain, when you are putting two opposite emotions in one box, there is a conflict. That sometimes leads to schizophrenia also in some people. Conflicts are the main basis of schizophrenia. So when you don't understand how to feel, you are putting yourself in a conflict. For example, some people will, sex can be one dissociation. Some people will try to have sex when they are very sad or something like that. They want to involve in this and this prayers can be dissociation and playing can be dissociation, singing can be dissociation, like that. When we are doing this, we are actually putting our mind into conflict. It doesn't understand whether it has to feel sad or it has to feel happy. If you can replace the sadness with happy, that is fine. But you can't. That's why it's bad. If you can replace, that will be very good for you. If you are removing all the negative emotions, you are putting all the positive. No, that's not how we humans are made. We are made of 50% negative emotions, 50% negative shades, 50% happy emotions, 50% happy shades. So we are not made in such way. When we cannot replace, trying to keep two things into same box and then confusing our mind, that's not good. And if you be in the sadness and if you try, I'll also tell you how to healthily do that. Sushma, hi. After a long time, I'm talking to you. And Swati is saying, what is difference between substance abuse and other forms of addiction? There is no difference. Any form of addiction is distortion of the reality. They will go into alternative reality. Especially if it is substance abuse, they will see beautiful flowers and I'm flying and everywhere colors like that. It's like completely going into another world where person can fly, control things like that. Um, it's complete distortion of the reality. It takes you away from the reality, very much away from the reality. So like how I said, thinking that belt is tight, that is one distortion I said. In the same way, drinking, substance abuse, and using sex, and that can be both distortion or dissociation, that depends. Like when you can feel both the things, that is dissociation, simple rule. When you can only feel one thing and that's not reality, and you are in a virtual world, that is distortion. And even games addiction, all that is distortion. You are actually involving in the mobile game, that is distortion, not dissociation. That can be dissociation also. When he feels some pain while playing a mobile game, that is dissociation. If he is not feeling anything, if he is only in the mobile game, all his emotional gone, that is distortion. And Shal is saying perfectionism is displacement. No, I'll tell you what it is. It will come. And Swati is saying spelling mistake, addiction, not section. Okay. Srividya, thinking about future when we are actually feeling sad. Okay. Hold this thought, Srividya. And Divya is saying, so you suggest facing the reality even if it is painful and strive towards feeling. Yes, you have to figure a solution. Maybe there was a time when you were not able to, but that doesn't mean now also you can't. So you have to search for solution rather than distorting the reality. And next is intellectualization. Intellectualization is there any intellectualization king here? So intellectualization is when you think about it a lot and use your intellect and try to analyze and try to figure out. For example, this guy is hungry, he is not able to get the food. So what he will do is, he will think, okay, hunger is caused by low amount of glucose in the body, and low amount of glucose gives pain because glucose will not reach to each muscle, and each muscle has a tendon, and tendon has a nucleus, something like that. This is intellectualization. When he looks at the things in a manner like looking like a professor. Like professor, how he talks about hunger, like that he will talk about the painful things. That is intellectualization. For example, if I got sexually abused, then I will talk about sexual abuse. I think my body freezed when I sexually abused, and I think my hand was shivering, and some of my tears were rolling down, and I was in a room. The dimensions of the room was 6 centimeters, 6 meters wide, and 5 meters width, like that. This is intellectualization. So where I have seen intellectualization is, I have seen in many people who are who have more intelligence and who have knowledge, thirst for knowledge, and they keep reading, browsing in the internet, and instead of looking at their own emotions, they look at the logics. So for example, a person's father died, and he is saying that my father died out of cancer. So because of cancer, instead of his body has 20,000 billion white blood cells in his body, instead of having 14,000 white blood cells, that led to the death of him, like that. This is intellectualization. When we talk about only facts, not about emotions. Emotions will be completely removed. That is intellectualization. Then comes the repression, where you put it in a box. So what is the difference between denial and repression? In denial, you completely deny. You don't know that there is something. You are completely away from the pain. But in repression, you know that there is something. But you will keep telling yourself that this boy who is not able to eat, he will tell himself, okay, shut up, shut down your emotions. You are so stupid. You are actually thinking about food in class. You're not supposed to do that. So you listen to the teacher. Shut up. This is repression. When we stop ourselves forcefully. And there is reaction formation. Reaction formation is nothing but okay, I'll read the comments. Srividya, thinking about future. That I told already. Srividya, I get it. Renuka Prasad, me thinking of intellectualization. And Divya is saying writing a poem about hunger. No, that's not intellectualization. I'll tell you what that is. Divya, please hold on to this and remind me later. And Vidya, Sri Vidya, please remind me later if I forget what is planning for the future. And Divya, please remind me about writing a poem. And Brain Professor is saying, I just can't help, my brain goes into analysis. That is, yeah, that is intellectualization, that is your coping, so you can't control it. And unconsciously it happens. Vijay is saying, you are trying to describe what is actually happening at the time rather than feeling, yes. And Divya, interesting. I thought it's learning. Divya, process of learning, how? Emotionally unhealthy learning, I guess. It's not learning. It's not learning because if you know what causes hunger, how much limits of glucose you need in the body, you are not going to find a solution. You just need to go and have your food. That's it. So learning about glucose levels will not help you. So you don't learn the right things. That's the problem in intellectualization. And reaction formation. Reaction formation is, he will think, I hate food. Why human beings have to eat food? Why this mess? Why everybody has to eat every day? I hate eating. So he will go into a state where he will blindly oppose what he wanted. That is reaction formation. So we see this very often whenever somebody is being tortured because of religious practices, like asking them to do rituals, then they will go into reaction formation and they will become devotees or they will become anti-atheists. This also I have seen, and this is just one example which I have seen. And also people talk about when an abuser gives pain to, this is very important point, everybody has to know. When an abuser gives pain to victim again and again, the victim will fight. At one point, if she gives up, she will go into reaction formation and she will start loving the abuser. That is so pathetic, and she will think that he is at least allowing me to. This is called some syndrome, but this is a part of reaction formation where a victim falls in love with the abuser after repeated abuses. That is that. And Divya is saying a lot of people get into reaction formation right after breakup. Yeah, like, yes. After breakup, initially they were in relation, they liked it and they wanted it, and they wanted so much after breakup. Now they hate. For example, I hate women because women always reject. So I hate women. But previously he wanted women. So this is reaction formation. Vijay is saying about thinking, unless why humans have thinking capacity. Can't they just live nature just like all other animals do? Okay. Next, I'll answer this later. Next. Now, anticipation. Many people asked what is planning for the future. That is anticipation. Here, in this page, your reality, solution, and your defense are very closer. So that means there are possibilities of you getting a solution through this. There is that possibility. So these copings are a little bit healthy. Even if you don't get the solution in the first level, like this time you can't, for example, this kid who is not able to eat, he will think, from next time onwards I'll eat breakfast and come, definitely. So that's what he's planning for the next time. So this is not real, close to reality. He is not actually getting the food for that time, but next time it will help him. So these defenses will help him in the long run, or they will help in the society in the long run. So anticipation is making plans. So I think Vidya asked me this, and somebody else asked something else. Can you please remind? Divya asked me about poem writing. Poem writing is sublimation. Sublimation is when you transfer your problem into something other form where it is healthy. So what is the difference between dissociation, displacement and sublimation? What is the difference? In dissociation also you are putting two things into same box, happy emotion. So this guy is staring at a girl and thinking, oh my god, so beautiful. And there also in sublimation he is writing a poem about hunger, somebody mentioned. So what is the difference between these two things is, when he is writing a poem about hunger, he remembers his feeling. So he is very much close to the reality. He knows that he is hungry. In these mechanisms, they will know that they are suffering, and they know what their pain is, and they know they can't do anything. So in therapy also, sometimes I suggest people to use these defenses because they are healthy. And if a person is in a condition, for example, a person abused someone in the childhood, he can't do anything right now about it. then what he can do is he can use altruism and help other people from getting he can prevent other abuses happening. That's how he can use these defenses when he actually doesn't have any answer solution. So, but there will be a solution to all the problems. But if solution is not very closer, if it takes lots of time, lots of energy, then people can use these. So anticipation, the guy eats breakfast from the next day. That is a healthy thing. And altruism is he will give food to all the people who are hungry. Because he felt hungry, he knows how the pain is. So he'll share his box with 4 more people when they sit next to him in the lunch. And they will tell him that I'm feeling hungry. So he will share the box with all the other people. And that gives him a feeling of relaxation. That is altruism. Or he decides that after growing up, after becoming a teacher, I will never stop my kids from eating in the class. I will not make anybody feel hungry. That is altruism. And it is healthy to other people and healthy to self also. But it's not the solution. Even then, it's not the solution. But still, little bit okayish. And what do they say? A lot of people get into reaction formation right after. Yeah, reaction formation about thinking. See, Vijay is saying, is it good to anticipate? No, it's not. It's not needed actually. Anticipation is not needed. So if you want to make, you will anyway, you are doing activities in the Instagram. I'll be talking about goal setting on that in the course of time. So you will understand how you have to plan. I'll teach you how to plan. But anticipation is somewhere where you unknowingly plan. So maybe it fails also sometimes. And planning is not always good, and you have to do it in a realistic manner. Then it's good. If your plan is practical, if you are modifying again and again, and if it is realistic, then it's good. And Divya is saying difference between sublimation and intellectualization is they acknowledge reality. Yes, they acknowledge reality in sublimation, and they put it into something that is very close to the reality. Like he is feeling hungry, he will write poem about hunger, not about something else. And when it comes to intellectualization, he will read about hunger. He will know the facts. But sublimation, he knows that he is in pain. He will put it into some kind of healthier form. And Renkabila is saying, no, intellectualization, avoiding emotion. Sublimation is turning emotion into cognitive output. Yes, not only cognitive output, behavioral output also. Sublimation, for example, I am angry on somebody and I want to garden. I will dig soil, that is sublimation. And I am angry, I am playing football, sublimation. I am angry, I am watching cricket match, playing cricket, sublimation, and I am very happy. Then I'll go on a date. That is sublimation. When the emotion is synced with the action, that is sublimation. When I am happy, I am doing a party, and I am happy, I am socializing, I am traveling. This is sublimation. So your action, your emotion, your thought, everything is in sync. That is sublimation. And suppression is you don't do anything about it, but you will let your emotion be there. You know that your emotion is there. What is the difference between repression and suppression? Repression is when you deny and you say that you should not feel like that. Stop. That is repression. And suppression is, I understand that you are hungry, but now it's not possible. In the class, teacher is there. We will disturb all the other people in the class. So let me be in hunger. It's okay even if I don't listen to class today. Because I am hungry, I'll be with the hunger. So I am hungry, but it's okay. Let me write. I am hungry. Let me write. This is suppression, where you actively you keep that aside. You try to be normal, but you don't blame yourself if you are not normal. And if you don't try to deny it, you don't try to fight against it. You are happy with it. You understand it. You are compassionate towards it. That is suppression. And then comes humor. For example, this guy makes a cartoon of teacher in the form of devil, in the form of ghost. That is humor. He is trying to convert his emotion into something comic. He is trying to so for example, many people. Can anybody figure out what is the biggest example of this? We see it everywhere, every day almost. Humor. Can you all point out? Shalini is saying sublimation is not a change in state. It's just transfer. Yes, sublimation, you just put it into something else. That's it. But you know that it's there. And anticipation is also, you know that problem is there, but you try to plan for next time. instead of feeling bad this time. That's fine. And altruism is you will try to help others. Like you will plan for others. Anticipation is you will plan for yourself. Altruism is you will plan for others. That is altruism. And Divya is saying it is possible easy to come out of prolonged suppression. You need not come out of suppression. Suppression is healthy. So you need not even come out, because if you are aware, that's not a problem. Bapu gar chitralu. Comics. No, Bapu gar chitralu, I don't think they depict trauma. But I'll give an example. Joking about wives. Yes, that's what I was looking for. About girls. After breakup songs. There's funny songs about breakup. What did you do to me? You left me. You gave importance to your father, not to me. And funny songs like this we keep hearing. And we also hear jokes about wives. All this is humor. We are actually transferring the pain into comedy. And one more example is COVID jokes. Now I keep hearing everywhere COVID jokes. And about masks, about these things, many jokes. That is nothing but humor. So it's also a little bit healthy, but not always. Yes, memes. Juby is saying it's memes. And it can be passive aggression also. Sometimes people joke and scold others, that is passive aggression. But if it is healthy and not humiliating anybody, only talking about concepts and not causing pain to anybody, then it's healthy humor. That is nothing but celebrate breakups. What is that? That is denial or distortion. They want to distort the reality. They will say that I am happy that she left me. But if you are happy, why you wouldn't leave her? So at that time you are not thinking of leaving her. If you are trying to leave her, if you think it's good for you, whatever happened, then you should have left her. But you didn't leave. That means you don't think it's happy for you. But after she left, you are trying to change the reality. That is distortion. And Divya is saying, oh my god, that's true. Okay, now what I am saying is, these all are the defense mechanisms. We are almost done with all the defenses. Now point is, we can't understand about our own defenses. We have to be careful, and we have to keep observing, and we can discuss with therapists. They will know what our defenses are. Our friends, we can talk to friends. We can ask them, what do I do when I am angry? Did I scold you, or did I do something like playing music or something? Did I do that? We can ask the people. I am not suggesting parents, because they will always say, you will trouble me when you are in pain. You will throw things at home. You will be very violent. So parents might not be able to give objective answers, but maybe friends can. And if you have any parent who is very friendly to you, you can ask. Your parent is objective enough, then she will tell you what you do when you are worrying and not eating. That is passive aggression. I forgot to say. So not eating is also passive aggression, showing of anger on somebody or on self. That is passive aggression. And humor is when this guy makes sketches of the food and makes jokes about it. These are the differences. Sheikh is saying we are experiencing what you said. What I didn't know that time was I actually gone through a lot of it and managed myself to learn helplessness. Now I realize after okay, that's great. But this will not stay with you, unfortunately. So I have to tell you the reality. Whatever, now whoever participated here, they will feel like, oh my god, we got to know something. But after one day, again you will be into your defenses. You will again fall into your defenses. Because defenses are some things that you operate at unconscious level. They will try to, for example, if you are driving a car and if you are using if you are taking, I'll give a better example. So if you are eating with right hand. Now if I ask you to eat with left hand, how many years will you take to learn? So it will take so many years to switch your defenses. If you are someone who is using distortion or distraction, if you want to switch to altruism or anticipation or humor, it takes years. So it's not easy. So even now, even if you have realized, that's a great thing. That's a good insight. But if you want to keep this, you have to do lots of hard work. Like you have to do for years, like 2 years, 3 years. You have to keep consciously observing what you are doing when you are suffering and what you want to do from now onwards. That you have to look for solutions, that is obviously there, and what is stopping you from that, and why you are feeling helpless. Can you remove those factors which made you feel helpless? Can you find solution in spite of not having many options? Can you find something in that within the options? Like that, it takes years almost to switch the switch from one defense to defense, and to observe our own defenses, and also to change the defense pattern. That takes years. You have to work hard really if you want to. And Divya is saying suppression healthy. Suppression is healthy to some extent if you are not able to find a solution. So all these five are healthy ones, but solution, finding the solution, like he asking permission in the class and going and eating is the solution. That is most healthy. And other things are secondary, like not 100% healthy. That guy asking for permission and eating is the healthy solution. But if he is not doing that and doing anything is not that healthy. But when there are no options, altruism, suppression, humor, anticipation, sublimation, okay, no problem. It will not harm you, it will not harm others. Other defenses will harm others, harm you. But point is, if you suppress also, you will not find the solution. That is the point. So now somebody might ask me, Shani saying we fall down and we laugh. Yeah, that is humor. I know about whom you are talking about. And Vidya is saying most of the defenses are similar to intervene. Yes, we use multiple defenses sometimes. And I'll tell you one more thing. Some people might be thinking, I am not eating in the class because teacher will scold me. Okay, imagine teacher really scolded. Then what are we supposed to do? What is the solution? Are we supposed to use any defenses? No. We'll go to principal and we'll complain that eating is a basic need and I want to eat. My teacher is doing this. You have to go and complain. Principal is not listening. He is beating you. Then you can go and complain to police. Then you can, if police is not listening to you, he is actually saying that you are a school kid, how can you come and give a complaint on teacher and principal? They are very respectable people in the society. Get lost. Then you can go to court. Then court will reject your case. Maybe. Then you can go to government. You can file a complaint in the ministry. So these are the actual ways in which we can fight. Now let us talk about sexual abuse and other problems. So when somebody gets sexually abused, altruism, humor, anticipation, those are not helpful. If you fight with your abuser, that is the actual solution. If you stop the abuse, that is the solution. After stopping what you are supposed to do, that is different thing. And then coming out of the trauma. But you fighting against the abuser is the actual solution. If abuser is still in a feeling that he is right, then you can fight. You have to definitely fight. If your abuser is feeling guilty, he will not continue the abuse. If he is continuing, that means he is the abuser. Then you go to police, then they will fail you. Then you will go to lawyer, then you will go to ministry, then you will do protest. So even if your ministry fails, then you will fight against the government, you will do protest. That is ideal. I am not saying we have to do and I will do. I am not saying. So we are not that capable. We will feel like for one day eating, we can't go to minister. That's what we will generally compromise. But what happens when we don't fight against the unjust? So when we keep suppressing ourselves, then what happens is gradually we'll get habituated, and because of that today society is in horrible condition, and that is result is because nobody tries to find solutions. That is why society is in horrible conditions. So we can fight we have infinite options. Imagine there is a society, you are living in a society where girl has no rights. So girl, only men have rights. Then girl might feel I can't fight because I am a girl, I don't have rights here. So she might feel that she should not do anything. But she has infinite possibilities. That one possibility is she might die also when she is doing the protest, when people might kill her also. So if we can actually choose that, even if it is tough, then maybe we have infinite possibilities. But nobody wants to choose death just because of something. That's why we compromise. So when we compromise, we are actually ruining the society. But even this is a natural process. I can say that. So ruining the society and compromising at some points and fighting at some points, everything is like natural. So I'm not blaming or showing that this is something bad. I'm not an activist to motivate you all and ask you all to start a protest. But I'm just showing the cause of all the problems in the society. I'm just trying to show. But after that, what we have to do, that we can decide. Like maybe I will decide to fight, and maybe one of them, like two people will decide to compromise. Two people will decide to be altruistic. Even being altruistic is helpful to some extent. Two people will choose to do comics, create comics, and two people will choose to sublimate. That's okay. That's not a problem. We are not comparing anybody. Somebody is doing altruism, somebody is doing sublimation, somebody is using denial. I am not comparing them, and I am not trying to say that someone who finds solution is a great person, someone who uses the one defense which will take you from reality, that is bad person. I am not saying that. There is no comparison, there is no order, and the value of human will not change just because he is denying or is not in the reality. Not because of that. But only thing is, I am trying to show the cause of the problems. So this is all. We found Sri Vijay is saying difference are seeming so interlinked, and Divya is saying possible that child who got sexually abused too forgot it could intellectualize. Yes, I gave the example of intellectualization of sexual abuse. When a girl is talking about details of it, like if it is talking about menstrual cycle details, all the technical details, like a biologist, she's talking about what happened to me at that time. My body was that, my hands were shivering, I was crying, tears were falling from my eyes, 3 tears. So that's a kind of intellectualization that can happen. Anything, anybody can use any defense. There is nothing like men, women, nothing like that. I have shared only my experiences and what I have seen in my clients, but it's not a rule or something. I always keep saying things and I keep changing. Maybe in next video, if I do on this topic after a year, maybe I'll entirely give different examples based on my. So here, don't fix to any rules like this is better, this is worst, and don't stick to any comparison like this person is superior because he is using altruism. And that's what my role is. Like I can't differentiate between defenses. That's why I look at all the defenses in the same way, and that's what it is. All the defenses are equally. All the people who use different kinds of defenses are equally valuable. But when it comes to mental health, we have to find solutions. But we are not differentiating people based on defenses. That's what I'm mentioning. And Vijay is saying, you asked me to remember you at the end about reaction formation about thinking capacity of humans. Okay, thank you. So, thinking capacity of humans, I think I explained you before. So, maybe you bother about thinking. You think that you are a person who overthinks. You think again and again about something. But that doesn't mean your thinking is a problem. It's not like humans are thinking that's a problem. It's not like that. Problem is you are not getting the solution from thinking. That is the problem. That is because you are thinking about yourself. At that time you can't see biases. For example, if I don't have a Google map, I have a mobile. So with this, I am taking the photograph and I am trying to travel from this place to next street. But I am going wrong all the time. I am roaming around in circles. I am again reaching the same point from where I started. But I want to go to a hospital. Let us say I want to go to Apollo hospital and I am not able to go. But I am roaming around in the same colony for almost 10 hours, but I am not able to go to Apollo hospital. And I am going again in rounds and reaching the same point. Where is the problem? Problem is not in my walking style. Problem is in the reference that I am using. I am using the photos from my mobile. That is the problem. Photos from my mobile cannot help me to reach Apollo hospital. And photos taken by a satellite can help because satellite will capture whole colony. So it will give you bigger picture. So satellite pictures can take you to Apollo hospital. But if you use your mobile pictures, you click 1,000 pictures. Then also you will see only those streets. So in the street 1, you took 100 pictures. Street 2, you took 100 pictures. You are walking. But your pictures are limited. Your awareness is limited. Your path is limited. You can't see beyond these 2 lines. But a satellite can. So when you actually think in a broad perspective, your thinking expands. That's when you will find solutions. So thinking is never a problem. But you are repeatedly thinking in a same circle because you can't see beyond this. So your gate is closed. You are only roaming in 2 streets. Adjacent streets. You are not able to reach the Apollo hospital. So you are blaming the thinking. So walking pattern, your phone, you are thinking like I'll throw this because it's not helping me. But if you open Google Maps in that, it will help you. In the same way, in the thinking also, if you use it in a right manner, if you look at it in everything in a different perspective, you will be able to reach Apollo hospital. You're walking, if mobile phone are equivalent to thinking. So if you think in a new perspective, then you will get the answer. If you think in same perspective, you will get ruminating thoughts. You will keep clicking 1,000 pictures. Then also you will not find the Apollo hospital. And Renuka Prasad intellectualizing, she hasn't forgotten, right? Yeah. If somebody is intellectuating about something, they have not forgot. If somebody forgets, that is denial. They can't use any other defense along with denial because they don't even know they have pain. So mostly they will be only in denial. So actually this is my favorite topic because it makes me understand about several people, and it also helps me to look at all the people in the same manner. Like I don't differentiate. A person who is addicted, a person who is worshipping God, a person who is who does rituals, puja, all that, and a person who is studying very well, workaholic, and a person who is altruistic, donating, charity, trust, everything. I don't differentiate between these people because they all are using their own defenses, and everybody is equal to me. So that is how this topic helps me so much to be like a proper psychologist, where I don't differentiate between people, and I don't assign different values to different people. So this is my favorite topic. This helps me in understanding how people are same, how people are different, and how people are of equal value, same in the sense. So that's what, and I'm stopping here. Okay, Vijay is saying thank you, and thank you all for participating. So since I learned, so I told this in the beginning, for those who have missed, I'll repeat again. So I wanted to do webinars and on Zoom because I wanted to use PowerPoints from now onwards. But in live video, I am not finding it interesting because I was not able to use the PowerPoints. Now I have learned how to use PowerPoint on YouTube also. So I'll be sticking to this YouTube live sessions. So next webinars from next time on, that's why I had to switch in the last moment. Yesterday night I told all of you that webinar is going to happen at YouTube. That is because I just learned yesterday completely how to use this. So from next time onwards, all the webinars will happen at YouTube. So I'll be giving information to you all about the webinars. In general, it used to happen weekly. It's a long back I used to do, but I used to do without presentations. But now I am doing with presentation. So next time if I do, I'll let you all know. Thank you for listening, and subscribe to YouTube channel, and also share with your friends who are interested in psychology, and also follow on social media platforms to get updates. And in Instagram there is an activity, catch your blue whale challenge, and try to participate in that. You will learn 50 techniques, self-help techniques, which can use in your day-to-day life. And I'm stopping here. Okay, you're looking for more. Okay. It helps you to intellectualize. That's why. Okay. Thank you all.